I I
So,
go
yeah,
ahead.
well, statistics. So every, you know, all of our rinks have got, multiple cameras up on the roof taking video of our games. And within 24 hours or less, we got a full video breakdown from TPE with all the stats. Every player gets a link to every shift, a file of all shifts that they took during the game, for them to open it up and look at them. The stats are astounding. And I had told, and this, I guess I got this from you guys, from Tom, the 150, the goal is to make 150 passes, completed passes in a game. And I told my players that before our first game the other day, and they did pretty good. They had 236, and but we have a tougher game today, so we'll see how that goes. But it also records how many unsuccessful passes and where those unsuccessful passes occurred, what zone it. I mean, the level of detail I think, is astounding. It's not 100% accurate, I don't think, as because I don't know how they come up with this stuff, but
An
um,
algorithm, I think.
I think you're right. And Huddle has it, and TPE has it, and there's two or three services that do it. And I think it's interesting that it's against the rules for me to go to an opponent's practice or game and video that game. But now I can go on the system, and everybody's stuff is out there. And so where I'm going with this is, um, I think it's almost too much. It can be used for good or it can be used for evil. And I think for coaches, I think it's informative. But you should probably already know, inherently, if you've been doing this a long time, you kind of know what's working and what isn't. And but this puts a little meat on the bones, I guess. I was talking to a player in the locker room before the game, and she was meticulously taping her stick, like like this. It actually mattered. I said, "So how many shots do you think you take in a game?" Oh, she says 8 or 10 for sure. Well, the first game she took zero, and I know she's not taking 8 or 10. I mean, she's on the third line, and she'd maybe 8 or 10 a month. Um, but it, I have found that the statistics are. I think the statistics are for coaches. I'm not so sure the players zone in on them. Jim Johnson had come up with a system called on ice effectiveness rating, and he'd go through the video when he was coaching the whatever the AHL team was for the Lightning, and he would post those in the locker room, and we would do the same thing. I modified some of those statistics for the high school level, but the interesting part is that the kids, only about half the kids would even look at it because they know they didn't block shots, they know they turned the puck over, they know they didn't score a goal, they know they. So part of our discussion, especially next week with our players, is going to be what role are you playing on this team? And it's an important role, but not everybody can be the goal scorer. And we have to find ways as coaches to make players understand how important their roles are, um, like on the third line. What is your role as a player? And I think that's important. And so I think this, I'll circling that back up. I think there's too much emphasis on the statistics and endless video watching. Um, our new Bantam coach is running an hour and a half video sessions for the Bantam team once a week. And when I was talking to Jim Johnson a couple days ago. He was on his way from Calgary to somewhere scouting. He works for the Anaheim Ducks. And he says that they never run a video session. They do it by position, and they never run it for over 5 minutes. He says because the players quit paying attention, and that at his level. And I think at our level, 5 seconds is sometimes a long stretch for some of these kids. So, anyways.
Hell, you talk about everybody playing a role.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's sort of an art of motivating all players and making sure they feel valued.
Yeah.
And